be working on our similar situation to what you're going to have tomorrow on Thursday and Friday. We have an assessment that's going to test a little bit about how you can do some of the activities we've been doing together and how you can do them independently. So you're going to get a story on Thursday and Friday. You're going to read that story. You're going to write the gist, and we're going to practice that this afternoon at 12:45. We're going to do another, just a reminder of what the gist looks like. You're going to answer some questions about the piece, using those multiple choice, using those select response strategies. And then we're going to also write a constructed response about the piece. And so I know that you guys need more practice on that. We've done a couple, but we're going to do it together. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, and we're going to get started on our lesson today. So you definitely need a pencil, my friends at home, because we're going to be doing lots of writing today. Everybody here, hopefully you're ready to go too. All right, so in today's lesson, Overcoming Learning Challenges Near and Far, we're getting to the end of this unit. I did. We're getting to the end of this unit, and so that's why we're having an assessment tomorrow and Friday to see how you're doing so far before we move on to the next unit. All right, so our learning target today is I can write a short constructed response to answer questions about Nazarine's Secret School. Tomorrow it'll be a different story, but today we're still working with Nazarene. Who remembers what constructed response means? Who remembers what a constructed response means? Surname. What is a response? Do you remember what the word response means? Very good. So Sirene said when you respond to somebody when they want to know something. So would that be an answer then, Ms. Sirene? When we answer them. So what's a constructed response then? A constructed response. Who remembers what the word constructed means? Do you remember, Finn? Well, when we put some things together, construct. Do you think of the word construct inside of constructed? That means we put together, right? So we're going to put together a short response. So a short response means, like about 3 sentences, 3 to 5 sentences. It's not a big long page of sentences. It's not just one. It's going to be a short construct, so about 3 sentences or so. So very nice job, my friends who put that together, Finn and Surname. Thank you so much. All right, so today we're going to be doing that. So we know, Mrs. Aubin and I have talked about this. We know that some of you, to really write things down and get your ideas down on paper is a little bit hard. You have to persevere through it. So this has to do with the integrity. When we are working to become ethical people, we know that we show respect. And you guys are doing that right now. I see whole body listening. You guys are doing great. I see lots of respect right now. You're treating the environment with care, leaving your desks clean at the end of the day. You guys are doing a great job with that. But the integrity part means I am honest and do the right thing even when it's difficult because it's the right thing to do. So what would that look like today and when you're doing the assessment? What would a student with integrity look like if they had integrity during the assessment or today? What would a student look like that had integrity? Sunny? Okay, so if somebody was distracting you, but you're still paying attention, like somebody near you, so you're doing, because it's difficult because maybe they're trying to get your attention, but you're sitting properly and listening, that'd be a great way to look. How about when you're working independently? Today you're going to work independently a little bit without Mrs. Harrison telling you what to write. Cole, what would that look like if you have integrity? You're doing your own work, right? You're not looking at anybody else's paper. That's what Cole said. That's definitely the honest thing to do, right? How about if you're struggling? if you're not sure what to write? What would integrity look like then? Madison. You got to think about it a little bit. You got to try a little bit more and think about it a bit more, Madison says. Yeah, are you just going to give up? No. Are you just going to be like, I can't do this and leave it blank? No, we're going to do our best job, right? Abin and I know that your best job is what you're going to give us. And we're smart kiddos. We know that our affirmation this week is I am smart. We know that you're going to do your best job and you're going to work hard even when it seems like a lot of work. Okay, so that's what we're going to make sure we do today and tomorrow. So we're going to write a short constructed response. And to do that, we need to have some notes, because we always are going to give you an opportunity to take some notes and have a note catcher to help you with today's work. So this, I'm going to put it into the dot camera, and you guys are on page 16. Can everybody turn into their workbook on page 16? I'm going to edit it for a second here. All right. On page 16, we wrote some notes, some details from the text. And my friends at home, hopefully you filled in page 16, because this is going to help you today. Everybody who's here, turn to page 16 for me. These are your notes to help you today. These are the things we came up with as a group together. And these are your notes that are going to help you write today. There's going to be some questions, and you are going to use these notes to help you. All right, does everybody see where those are? Because you're going to use those today in your work. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you've got that. My friends at home, make sure that you've got page 16 with your notes. All right. Okay, so we are going to be answering some questions. And so I am going to have you think about some things before we start to write. Does that ever help you when you're trying to decide on something to talk to somebody else and get some ideas and say it out loud? I think Mrs. Abin and I do this about 100 times a day together. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, so I talk to her about it. And then when I leave that quick conversation, it can only even be a minute. I feel better because I kind of have a good idea in my head. And Mrs. Abin does the same thing. So we're going to give you an opportunity today in some small groups, some breakout groups of 2 people. We're going to just do pairs today. And we're just going to have you talk with a neighbor about these ideas. Okay, so you're going to have a little time to think, so just hold on. I don't want any of you to get stressed out first, okay? All right, so when we're writing a short constructed response, we're going to use complete sentences. So when you're talking to your partner in either a breakout group or here, I would like you to start using complete sentences, not just a phrase, because that's how you're going to write. You're going to write in a complete sentence. You're going to have a subject and a predicate. We're going to make sure we know what the question is asking before we do any talking or writing. We're going to make sure we understand what the question's asking. All right. And we're going to make sure if it says, if it says details with an S, what does that tell us? Sawyer, that there's more than one that we're going to talk about. Very good. Okay. And then we're going to double check. Did we answer the question fully? All right. So our question that we're going to ask today, so we're going to look at this question here, which is on your page 19. So we're just going to look at it, but Mrs. Harrison has a slightly different way. First, we're going to look at what it says on this paper, but I'm going to help you. Even though this is what the paper says, I have some sentence starters that might help you, because I know this was a hard thing the last time we did it together. All right. So the question says, in Nazarene's secret school, what is the central message or lesson? Do you remember what a lesson or a moral is? Yep. Cooper, what is it? What's a moral or a lesson? What the story teaches you. Very good. So I want everybody to underline central message. This is on page 19 if you're still looking. Central message. You're going to be telling what the central message or lesson is. And that, according to Cooper, that means what the author is trying to teach you from the story. So do we have to write about what the lesson is? Yes. Do we have that written on our page 16? Yeah. Did we write it up here? We did. So do you have to come up with that in your head? No, it's right there. Now, you're going to want to use your own words, perhaps. So you're not going to maybe copy it directly, but I'm going to show you how we can start it out. Okay, it says, and how is it conveyed through the details in the text? Do you see an S on any of those words? What do you see, Abby? Details. Everybody circle the S. What does that tell us? We need more than one, which is great because we need a short constructed response, so we know we need at least 3 sentences. So one of them can be the lesson, one can be one of the details, and the third sentence could be another detail. Could you write about more than 2 details? Yes. Yes. Could you combine a couple details? Yes. You can do that. This is that, but today we're working independently, so it's up to you. And how is it conveyed through the details of the text? Well, I'm going to use some slightly different words. Okay. So I'm going to use some slightly different words that you're going to talk to your partner about. Okay. So what am I doing with my life here? Okay. Hit present. All right. These are the questions I want you to talk to your partner about. We're not writing anything yet. We're just going to talk it out. Like Mrs. Aubin and I do before we plan our lessons. We talk it out. So in Nazarene Secret School, what is the central message or lesson? That's what you're going to talk about with your partner. What details make you think so? Can you use that note catcher to help you? Yes? Best way, however, is if the note catcher help, I'm going to give you a little time to read your note catcher quietly by yourself first before you talk to a neighbor. But I would like you to be able to say in your own words what you're thinking. Okay? So I'm going to let you think about it first in your own words. And then you're going to get with another person, and we're just going to match up real close here so nobody has to move in. And then at home, we're going to do a quick breakout group of 2s. Can you do that for me? And so you're just going to talk about what is the lesson in your own words, and what are some of the details that they had in Nazarene Secret School that make you think that is the lesson. Okay? Now, you and your partner might have different things to say. You don't have to say the same things. You don't have to have the same ideas. In fact, it's better if you don't, because then that makes the conversation more interesting, doesn't it? Okay, then I also want you then. I did make you co-host. That's, yep, I sure did. Oh, okay, so I'll do them. That's okay. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So maybe I have to make you host, but then I don't know if I can record. So I'm afraid to do that. Okay. So looking at your note catcher, when you're talking to your partner, I want you to use complete sentences and see if you can come up with at least 3 full sentences with your partner about what you think you're going to write about today. All right. I'm going to go back to the question. Maybe. There we go. So the question you're going to talk to your neighbor about: what is the central message or lesson? And what details make you think so? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds, everybody at home and everybody here. So I'm just like pairs, if they can, please. So everybody here, right now, I'm going to 30 seconds of silence. Look at page 16. Look at page 16. Look at your note catcher. Page 16. That's your note catcher. It's okay. So you know what you're going to do when you're talking together? You might get got some ideas. People who got some ideas. And Abby, I have already see mine here. Okay. You don't have to fill it all in. Yep, I know. Okay. All right. All right. Everybody have a plan on what they're going to tell their partner? Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have these 2 rows share with the person across from them. Elena, I'll see if I can join you over here. Okay. Although Kamila restroom, I guess. All right, everybody in these two groups, you're gonna pick have the person next to you. Actually, Lyric, I'm gonna have you and Alina talk together. How about that? And then everybody here is gonna pair up. Charlie, let's see. Mr. August, I'll come back and talk with you. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna give you just a couple of minutes. Talk to your partner. What is the No, it's just in front of my question. This is the question. What is the central messaging lesson? What details make you think so? All right, ready? On your mark, talk to your partner. Good. I said these two people is the person across me. On your mark, get set, go. I know. Yes, but go talk to Sawyer first. All right, Miss Sawyer, come on up. Huh? Across Charlie. Yep. Mr. August, okay, you want to stay right here? Kind of away from her? All right. I know you've been missing some time, but that's okay. All right. I'll put up all the notes so that you don't have to copy them. You can just use them, all right? So don't worry about that. Elena? Here, why don't I do this? You guys share it. All right. So say some sentences that you think you could write. Answer these two questions together. So, we'll take risks. So you're going to say these sentences. You have to say the word similar. You have a copy of the book, Library Secret School, so you can look at the book. So you need sentences. In Library Secret School, what is the central message or lesson? All words. All right, Mrs. Aubin, I'm gonna close the rooms in 30 seconds. All right, hocus pocus. All right, Miss Lyric, you can head back. Thank you so much. All right, my friends. I'm waiting for my rest of my friends to come. Okay, give me a thumbs up if talking out your, oh, I'm getting back up. If you're talking it out with somebody else helped. Did you get some ideas from your partner? Okay, so my friends who are at home, hopefully you and your partner had a chance to talk and share so that you can give each other some ideas about what you're going to write. Okay, so, and you're going to write 3 sentences, at least 3 sentences, right? Okay, so on page 19 is the assignment. Okay, I'm going to remind you of some things to do, but I'm going to give you some sentence starters because some of you were like, I don't know how to say this without reading exactly what was on my paper from the other day. And I get that. Sometimes we're like, well, it says right here, some people, blah, 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 right? So, and I asked you guys to do it in your own, be able to do it in your own words. So I'm going to give you some sentence starters. Do you have to use the sentence starter? No. The sentence starter is if you're like just stuck and you don't know how to start your sentence, I'll give you the sentences to start. However, if you are ready and when you were talking to your partner, you're like, hey, I know exactly how I'm going to say this. Then you need to use the sentence starters. Okay. So if you look exactly at what the question asks, I'm going to show again what we did on our paper here. So on page 19 is what we're going to be working on. It says in Nazarene Secret School, what is the central message or lesson? We also called it the moral. And how is it conveyed through details in the text? And we circled the S because we need more than one detail. Okay, so keeping that in mind with our work here today, we are going to be doing short constructed responses. So complete sentences, right, friends? Just reminding us of the rules. Complete sentences that include a subject and a predicate. Should you just say, went to a secret school? What's missing in that sentence? The subject, right? Nazarene. We don't know who the who is. So make sure you have a subject and a predicate. If you have the S, you know that you need to have more than one idea. And then you have to make sure that you actually are following what it asks. Should you be writing about what you did last weekend? Should you be writing about how you think Nazarene felt? No. Did we talk about how that was? Yes. But is that what we're going to write about today? Because we're sticking to the prompt. We're sticking to what it asks us to answer. Yes, you have other ideas, but let's answer the question that you need to answer. Okay, here's my sentence starters. Okay, so it says use your book and your note catcher. If you have your, so my friends at home, the book is attached to this assignment. So if you need to go back and look at the pages, you can flip to another tab and look at the book. I have it all there for you attached to this lesson. The rest of you in this room, you have your book with you, right? Should you use your book if you need to? Yes. Should you use all your best capitals and periods and spelling? Yes. If you're not sure how to spell a word, but it's in the book, could you use the book to help you? Yes, for sure. Okay, so here's the question again. In Nazarene Secret School, what is the central message or lesson and what details make you think so? So here, how many sentences did I say we needed to have at least? 3. How many sentence starters did I give you? 3. 1, 2, 3. So Nazarene Secret School teaches us, and then what does it teach us? Okay, that's a way to start that sentence rather than just copying down what you have in your book, right? Okay, this text the text shows this by, is that your first detail? Okay, yeah. And then it also explains, is that your second detail? Could you combine another detail with there? Could you actually write 3 details in there? Yes, you could combine 2 if you wanted to. Because this, I'm going to just for a second show everybody this again. Okay, so do you even have to use all the ones in your note catcher? Could you use other ones that are not on your note catcher? Yes. Were there other ideas, other details about showing it was dangerous? Yes, I remember Josh came up with one, and and Finn came up with some. We had a lot of different things that would help us. So it doesn't have to be this note catcher, but it certainly can be. Okay, so this is where our integrity shows up, friends, because I'm going to give you some quality work time. So my friends at home, go ahead and stay on the Zoom, but I'm going to give you, yes, ma'am? Okay, yes, Haley.
Where are we writing this?
You're writing it on page 19
Okay.
in your workbook.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so if I can get back to, there it goes. Oh, nope. Thank you, Miss Haley, for reminding me. So it's right here on this. I'm going to leave this here. All right. So right here, it says at the top, use your book. And if you're at home, you can use the book I've attached and your note catcher on page 16. So that's why you need your workbook. Miss Astria, you took notes the other day. It's in your workbook or in your, yeah, okay. So Miss Astria, I know you don't have the book, but think about where we wrote down those details when we did it on Monday. We did those on Monday. So look at from the notes you wrote down on Monday. All right. And I already did that. Yep, I did that. In fact, I talked to her while we were waiting for you. So go ahead and just do your best job, Miss Astria. And I'm going to show you an example anyway of a full answer. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll let you maybe start on that. Do you want to do that? All right. So on page 19, you're right. Do you have to use these sentence starters? No, but are they helpful? They might be. Okay. So on page 19, I'm going to see how much time. I'm going to try to give you at least 10 minutes. I might give you 15. We'll see how we're all doing. We might have to stop before some people are finished, but I want some really quality work time. So if you're at home, you're staying on Zoom, but you're just working it out. Okay. You can turn down your sound if you need to concentrate a little bit. You don't turn it off entirely, but turn down the sound a little bit. And just go ahead and work. And Mrs. Aubin will be keeping an eye on that. Everybody here, you're going to start writing. Everybody got their pencil ready? Okay, you've got this. All right, page 19, you're writing your short constructed response. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Excellent, go. Oh, I like that I'm seeing people flip back to their note catchers. Nice job. Flip back to their catcher. I love that.
Robert, do you hear me? What are you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Robert's just gone to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I noticed he just got here, and so we missed the lesson.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if he needed some help.
Okay. He'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Thank you.
You can push this down. Is there a metal thing in there? You can push it down a little bit. Uh-oh, so it's upside down. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sweet Pea. You can. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you emergency?
Hi, Robert.
Well, hopefully those 2 spots for you.
You have your EL workbook?
Yeah.
It's the blue one. If you can open that
Okay.
to page 16, you'll need a pencil.
Page 16.
This one? 16.
All right, so I want you to take a minute to review that. Can you just read over it real quick to yourself? And then we'll do a little conversation about what you think the central message of Nazarene Secret School is. But first, I want you to review that. Can you read that to yourself real quick? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Page 16. As we reviewed that. Yeah, read it over to yourself. I'm going to sit here while you read that, okay? And then tell me when you're done reading it. What are you doing?
Mr. Harrison, have you told Henrik to come into my room? He's been in here twice. He said he needs to go to the restroom. I let him go to the restroom. Well, I told him.
Get back to work. What do you need to be doing? Okay. So now, what do you think, Robert, the central message of Nazarene Secret School is? What do you think we should learn from it? Go ahead and unmute so I can hear you. Do you remember that the central message is something you learn, the character learns something, we learn from what the character goes through, something we can apply to our life?
That you can always be happy in every situation.
Can you repeat that a little louder?
That we can always be happy in every situation.
What details from the text make you think that? And refer back to your note catcher on page 16. Came in late, 30 minutes late, so I'm trying to catch him up. There we go. So Robert, can you unmute for a minute? So you said you should be glad in every situation. What made you think that's the central message of Nazarene Secret School? What details from the text make you think that?
Because she was smiling, even though he was in a really weird situation because her
Oh.
mom and dad were gone.
So at the end, she finally was happy, wasn't she? She finally started talking again, even though her situation's really rough. Okay, so what other details did we write down yesterday? Can you read one of those to me? What were some of the details we came up with?
Woman and girl to go.
Right? So how could you use something started? You're happy. When you were talking with Nissa about, you guys were talking earlier, and you were doing your chair share, did you talk about what the lesson was?
No,
Okay. And you should be able to.
He's muted again. Robert, do you remember us talking about how dangerous it was for them to go out on the streets? Do you remember why that was so dangerous?
Yes. 'Cause
Why
they
was
were-
that?
They were gone.
So I bet you know this. Maybe it's hard getting the words. Remember, Nazreen lives in Afghanistan, right? And what's against the law there? Can you remember?
That you can't go to school and that you can't be in the street. I mean,
They need to have a man, right? And what happened to Nazreen's father?
he he got taken from the guards.
Yeah, they took him, right? And so weren't they lucky that the soldiers didn't see them? Why were they so lucky? That was one of the details we came up with. Why were the girls lucky that were going to the secret school? Hmm.
Why didn't they get taken?
So Robert, what could have happened if the soldiers saw Nazreen going to school in the morning or coming home?
They would have been put to jail, I think.
Yeah, that could happen, right? So you see in the story that they took a lot of risks just to do what? Nazreen's grandmother sent her to this secret school, even though it was super dangerous, because what was so important?
To stay safe.
Well, actually, they were being a little risky. If they were just trying to stay safe, she probably wouldn't have gone to the secret school. Why did she take that risk? The grandmother sending her there. What did she want for Nazreen?
To learn the world.
So important for her to learn, right? And to get to school so she could learn. And they risked their lives, essentially, to do that, just to go to school so they could learn. Boy, we sure take it for granted, don't we? Maybe not as much this year, but normally we do. All right, so that's what we discussed when you were gone. And now what everybody's working on is, do you remember what a short constructed response is? Remember when we did that with our vocabulary? A response being an answer to a question. Remember we talked about that in the beginning of our unit and throughout? Well, today you are going to write a short constructed response on page 19. So I want you can still use your note catcher on page 16, the one we reviewed. And then you're going to answer the question today because you're going to respond, right, to the question. In Nazreen Secret School, what is the central message or lesson? And then what details make you think so? So we kind of talked it out, and we have the details on page 16. So that is what you're going to do. Here's your sentence starters. Now you can look at Mrs. Harrison's screen. She's sharing it with you. Nazreen Secret School teaches us blank. What does it teach you? What is the central message or lesson? And the text shows this by, that's going to be your details. And again, you can use the text or you can use your note catcher on page 16. And it also explains, you're going to give your examples and details.
That's what we're going for.
So a short response might be 3 to 5 sentences, right? It's not super long. Make sure you use your capitals and periods and subjects and predicates. Make sure they're complete thoughts like we talked about so that we can read it. And you can do this on page 19 in your workbook because you guys picked up your work. We gave your workbook to your mom, right? So you've got it there. You're good. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Do you have any questions about what your work is? Give me a thumbs up if you feel good about it. In the middle, down if you're like, what are you talking about, Mrs. Oven? You feeling pretty good? Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna mute myself so you guys can think, but let me know either in the chat box or unmute and say, hey, I'm confused about this, okay? All right, get started.
You got it. Can you now, can you read that for your second one? Okay, good. Yeah. Good job, Jen. Coming up with all those ideas together. Okay, my friends, I'm gonna check in with you. Can you tell, just to 5, do you need, do you think you need 1 more minute? Give me a 1. If you think you need 5 more minutes, so tell me on your fingers how many minutes you think you need. 5. All right, because I can't give probably more than 5. Okay. Okay, five more, it looks like, how about 4? It looks like I have between 4 and 5 minutes. I'm gonna give 4 more minutes, okay? 4 more minutes. I'll let Mrs. Aubin know that we've got 4 more minutes. Can you tell them that I'm gonna give 4 more minutes? Yeah. We decided amongst ourselves that we need 4 more minutes? Yeah. Fifth 5, after 1 is 5, so we want 4. It's gonna be loud for a minute. Feel good? Okay. Yeah. Hey guys, so my 4 more minutes. My suggestion is 4 more minutes. You're feeling done. Go back and do what you would normally do as a good writer, right? You're gonna look for your capital period. You're gonna look for your, if you're not sure about what is spelled, you're gonna look for those. You're gonna make sure you have subjects and predicates, right? And you, yes, sir. I just finished my article on my capital, my period, and okay. So you're, now I can't let you go yet. So you want us to 10 minutes. So I'll let you finish first before you head out of the room. No. You're using your resource, aren't you? Yeah. There. You have to proofread it, or revise and edit. See if it's exactly what you want. I like how you're using your resource. Good job, Evan. Let them know. What do you want me to say something now? 2 more minutes. Okay, I'm typing it now. All right, feeling good? Yeah. All right, so then go ahead and read. Did you reread it? Make sure it has all of it, as far as you know, as perfect as possible. Awesome.
2 more minutes to finish. Learners at home, 2 more minutes.
How do you end up the text shows this 5. Everybody has started. Want that. Done? Did you go back and reread? Charlie, how you doing? Did you go back and reread? Make sure it's got what you want. Oh, good. You persevered, even though you didn't have that on a whole other page filled out. You know what? You're gonna have a whole different story tomorrow, so don't worry. Chris, this is Lori. You happy? Okay. It seems like we're doing a good job. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my friends here. Oops, I gotta escape for a second to get some sound back. All right, there, so I can hear people. All right, let's take a look at my friends here. All right, my friends who are working at home. Do we have an answer that we want to talk about? Do some work on? Okay, nice job, Clara. Good job, Haley. Pete, Logan's ready. Ben's ready. Gosh, you guys are so fabulous. Did I mention that? You guys are fabulous. Yay. Good job, Lila. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. All right, so we're going to look now. All right, ready to rock? Oh, it's Abby. I got into my Zoom again. Sorry.
Is it someone on the Zoom?
No, it's it is not someone on the Zoom, but nice try. All right.
Anyway, so
You
hi
can.
guys on the Zoom.
Oh,
Hi.
it's
You
Miss,
see me?
Miss Chris.
Here I am.
She says hi.
Jensen.
Oh, look at all those smiles. All right, get out of my list. No. Just teasing her, aren't I? Just teasing her. All right. So this is a possible answer. This is a real kid answer, my friends. Real kid answer. And so I want you just to take a moment and see, what do you notice? I'll let you read it yourselves. And tell me what you notice. It's pretty big. I know if you're in the super back, far back, you might want to, you can always come forward and look, but I tried to make it as big as I could. Finn, you're looking to see what you notice. Sawyer, do you see the one? This is a real kid answer. Tell me what you notice. Everybody read all the way through it. What do we notice? Madison. Okay, so we have some misspellings. Okay, does that make it hard to maybe understand? Okay, what else does anybody notice? We have some misspellings. We're gonna go actually edit and revise this. Okay, so
No period.
no period. There's a place where we're missing a period. Good job. I don't know who that was, but thank you so much because I can't see your face. Anything else you notice? Oh, I hear somebody here, St. Max. Ah, some places we're missing some beginning of the sentence capitals and some other capitals as well. What else do you notice, Sunny? Ah, okay. So you.
There's a slash marker in Ellen's school.
Okay, so it's all good. So you'll notice up here I've got some rules of revising and editing. Some capitalization, some punctuation, and some spelling ideas. We're going to look really quickly through these, and then we're going to look through the example that some real child wrote. And we're also going to then spend just a few moments before we leave today looking through our work today, making sure that you are following these things. Because always, and Mrs. Aubin and I are pretty strict about this, we are looking for capitals, we're looking for punctuation, everything, in everything. So paragraphs, we're looking for it in math, aren't we? We're looking for it in, when we do your exit tickets, we're looking for it in science for your observations. All the time, we're looking for those things that you are definitely capable of doing. So for spelling, use what you already know. If you're trying to turn happy into happiness, then use that, the least part, the beginning of happy, right? To be able to get, there's two P's in happy. Use spelling patterns. If you know how to spell sing, then you can spell the word bring and ring and those kind of words, right? Just change those at the beginning. Did you notice use a dictionary? I had at least 2 friends in the room say, I don't know how to spell, a word. And Mrs. Harrison said, hey, what resource do you have that could help you? If you have your dictionary with you, those were my kiddos that asked, you could use a dictionary, right? You could use your book that you have, use your resources, ask someone to help you. Now, normally, like on an assessment, I won't be able to necessarily help you with that. But today I could have, but I wanted you to see if you could do it yourself. Punctuation, using a period, a question mark, a comma, exclamation marks when you're trying to show something with lots of emotion. Or if you're really not sure, ask an adult, right? Or ask another person to help you. Capitalization. Some of you, as I walked around, did not have all your capitals. So that's why I said reread your work, because you need to make sure you have your capitals. And if you said Nazarene, does Nazarene need a capital? Yes, because it's a place. If you said Afghanistan or Herat, should you have a capital on those? Yes, because that's a place. And if you're not sure, always ask. You can always ask. So today we're going to go through I'm going to show you, I'm going to exit this again. We're going to look at my doc camera and we're going to look at this reading that that's so funny. We're going to look at the reading and tell me what you can find. I'm going to zoom in for my friends at home. Zoom in. There we go. All right, my friends, zoom in. So what do you notice that we need to fix? If you were this student, some of you already told me some good things. Where do I need to fix some mistakes? Those of you who already had some ideas, raise your hand. Those of you at home, I will get back to so I can see you. All right, Jensen, what do you see that needs to be fixed?
Capitals before their periods.
Well, can you read the word?
Actually, after their periods.
Okay, can you tell me what word I need to capitalize? Which word are you seeing?
I can't find any.
All right. That's okay. You're right. There is a capital missing at the beginning of a word. You're right, for sure. Anybody else see where that capital needs to go? Lila Morris? Where do we need a capital?
It goes on Nazarene, next to Nazarene's grandmother goes to school. Right.
Right at the beginning? So if we have the name.
No, it's down by your hand.
Down by my hand. Okay. All right.
There's another one.
There's another one.
It's under because. That's under secret.
Actually, guys, I'm sorry. You guys need to be on page 20. Be on page 20. I forgot that you had this page too.
The other Nazarene.
Page 20. So read it one more time for me, Lila.
It's Nazarene's grandmother takes her to
Gotcha. There we go. Capital N for Nazarene, right? All right, good. So you should be fixing these with me, friends. You should be fixing these with me on page 20. Everybody at home who has a workbook, Miss Astria, just keep a real good eye for me. Abby, what else do you see? Learning. It's under. Yep, I see it. How should it be spelled? L-A-R-N-I-N-G. We need the G on the end, right? All right, we need the G on the end, learning. Very good. No, what do you see? No period at the very end. Doing some good work here. If you can find it in other people, should you be able to find it in your own? Definitely. Cole, what else do you see? Where, yes, how do I spell school? Very nice. That's in the centered third line, my friends. Everybody at home see that? Third line? School? Right here in the third line. Charlie, I love how you're taking good integrity and making sure you can come and see. Good job, buddy. By himself? Oh. I just chopped too. I was just oh. All right. Next. Anybody else have an idea? Friends at home? Anything else that anybody sees? Ah, Logan Peters.
After when girls aren't allowed
Yes.
to go to school is a period.
Yes, we need a period at the end of that sentence. Very nice. Thank you, Logan. Elena. Yep. What do I need to do there? Capital letter at the beginning of my sentence. The text conveys this by describing. All right, Jensen, do you see another one?
After school and then it's period. Does it say it and then also?
Yes. So the eyes, when they print an eye on a computer, it doesn't have the little crossbars, so that is a capital, but it's hard to, but sometimes we don't see it in our heads as a capital, but it is for sure. Abby, do you see another thing that needs to be fixed? No? What? I'll give you a hint, we're not done yet. I see a couple more things. Haley? Uh-huh. So let's read it. The text conveys this by describing how Nazarine's grandmother takes her to a school that is secret because girls aren't allowed to go to school. That was one of our details. What do you think is around? There are some things around. Give you a hint. There's a punctuation.
And I found one.
Okay, hold on just a second, my friend. Spelling? Huh? Allie, what do you think? Okay. My friend at home, I'm not sure who that was.
It was me. School next to secret, right after on the first line, has a tally mark instead of an S. I mean an L.
So are you talking about the apostrophe that's right there?
No, I'm saying next to secret, there's school, and instead of an L on school, they put a slash mark.
No, it's actually because when we sometimes say the name of a book, either underline it or put it in italics. And italics is, so that's probably why it looks like that. It's not an L, but it's just italics. So okay, well, it's spelled correctly. We just need something is missing there. We need an apostrophe. In front of the T, where the O is missing, right? You need an apostrophe there. Okay, I will just tell you there are people is misspelled. Dangerous is misspelled. So if this was my paper, I'd have to go back and look in the dictionary for people and dangerous if I wasn't sure. Okay, and allowed. Allowed is misspelled. It needs two L's. Okay, so my friends, when we're doing this on our own on Friday, you're going to be writing a short constructed response. You're going to be doing the same thing with a different story. And I'm going to ask you, so some of you told me you were finished, but when I looked at your papers, you still had some things that you could still fix and check for spelling and periods and capitals. And even this kiddo here had that same problem. All right. But I like how they had their first sentence. Nazarene Secret School teaches us that some people will take dangerous risks to go to school because learning is important to them. Is that a good first sentence? Yep. The text conveys this by describing how the grandmother takes her school to her school, that's a secret. Then it also explains how they hurried to the school because women were forbidden from going outside alone. And it explains they were lucky the soldiers saw them, so getting all those details. All right, my friends, so I want you just for a moment to think about today's lesson and constructed responses. I want you just for a moment to think about how you're feeling about that learning target. If you have notes that you can use, do you feel like thumbs up, thumbs side, or thumbs down about how you're feeling about how you could write? Because a lot of you worked really hard today on your assignment. All right, I only have my one friend. Okay, so I see Logan's ready to rock. I got some people here. Okay. All right, good job, my friends at home. I'm hoping that tomorrow and Friday, you can show me these good skills on your own work, okay? All right, my friends, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. We'll see you at 12:45 when we practice the gist. We're gonna practice the gist.
Bye.